What's up, Georgia Dog Pound? Welcome to another edition of the Middle Georgia Dog Pound Live. I'm your host, Brian. It's Matt, Kevin. What's up, fellas?
How we doing, man? We're just having a good time down here at Fall Line, brother. Right.
Hey, it's our first live broadcast from Fall Line Brewery, downtown Macon. So glad to have you guys here with us. Got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be highlighting our brewmaster from Fall Line. We're going to be going over the highlights from the Tennessee game and then getting into the Mississippi Bulldogs. We're not the real Bulldogs, of course, but we're going to be getting into that game and talking about the issues that we're going to be facing with the cowbells and the noise factor, and hopefully we can shed some light on some things that the dogs need to do to pull this one off and get a big win. So without any further ado, because we got our brewmaster, let's roll of Fall Line for you, so you guys get an idea of where we are and what we're doing.
Hey, everyone, how you doing today? We want to go ahead and introduce you guys to Doug here. Doug is the brewmaster here at Fall Line. So go ahead and I want to thank you, Doug, for letting us come here and enjoy the facilities you guys have and everything you guys are going. As we get started, everything, go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you guys do here.
Yeah, like you said, I'm the brewmaster here at Fall Line. We obviously make beer, right?
That's right.
We're a small production size, local brewery here in Plum Street in downtown Macon. We produce about 65,000 gallons a year of beer, and it's distributed throughout the state of Georgia.
So where are some places locally that we can get Fall Line if we don't come here? Any places we can get it?
Yeah, if you're like in the Macon area and stuff, we're in package stores, restaurants, convenience stores, you name it. Like I said, it's probably about 2,000 locations in Georgia, state of Georgia.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember when we were up in a vacation in Gatlinburg, actually in Tennessee, we actually saw some Fall Line in one of their breweries up there as well. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
So with that, if I'm not a Fall Line, if I've never been to Fall Line before, what are some things that you want to tell me about to get me to come and enjoy you guys' facilities?
Oh yeah, like I said, we're located on Plum Street, downtown Macon, which is kind of off the main drag off of Poplar Street, like one block off of Poplar Street. We have our tap room here, and we also have a kitchen. And we have a really nice beer garden out there. We have a gorgeous fire pit out there that everybody's sitting around tonight, especially in the fall. And we have probably anywhere between like 14 to 18 beers on tap. Right now, we have a menu with like deli sandwiches that you can get, by deli sandwiches, and something to eat while you're here.
Yeah, so this week is their big promotion is Burger Week. So we just had a few burgers a little bit ago that was really good. It's the double smash burger, right?
Yeah.
It was really good. Super smash burger. We got it right. So they have tons of different brews here that they do locally, which is amazing. We've already had several of them already. The one we tried that was his favorite that we tried was called the California One, which was awesome. Right now, I'm currently taking on the just Fall Line Lager, which is to me very just solid, good beer for everybody to enjoy. So they have plenty of options for you, and don't think it's just a place for adults. Okay, my family's here. My wife and my kids are here. They're outside playing cornhole, enjoying the fire pit. So there's tons of things you guys can do with your family here. I know we get very centralized in downtown Macon, but go one street down on Plum Street. They're here. They have a great facility for everybody. Good family environment. They have music. They have food. They have good brews for adults. It's a good thing to go. So for you guys, do you guys have anything weekly or moment that you guys do?
Yeah, like I said, like this week is the Macon Burger Week that we're competing in. and then we'll release beers throughout the month. So those are kind of like weekly releases, or every couple of weeks we'll release a beer, depending on what's ready. And then like the first Fridays, they'll have events. Like sometimes we'll have live music. Sometimes like around the holidays we'll have like they just had the kids fest like for Halloween and stuff out here in the beer garden and stuff like that. So just follow us on our social media, and that's the best way to keep track.
It truly is, truly is. So with that, let's talk about some Georgia stuff right now. So you're a Georgia fan.
Yes.
So far throughout the season so far, what is your biggest takeaway that you've enjoyed or you've seen about this dog team so far this year?
Oh, it was obviously the win this past weekend against Tennessee. Of course, how the rankings all shift and everything like that. But it was nice to see them, kind of show that they are one team against Tennessee. And this whole game on Saturday against Tennessee, it's the defense. The defense don't get enough accolade.
I agree. You would never know the number 2 defense in the entire country. So I 100% agree with you. If you have a key thing that you think has been the biggest influencer for us this year, what would it be? Besides that game, what would be the biggest thing that you see that excites you about this team, maybe the chances for them to win a championship?
Oh, I mean, it's just on the offense, all the different weapons, the running backs, the receivers, the tight ends, right? I mean, it's like pretty much Stetson Bennett passed that just about anybody on that team.
That's
I think
right.
they catch the ball.
That's right. You're understanding like 20 different receivers throughout the entire team. It's incredible. I don't think any other team has that entire country. So thank you guys for viewing us. Once again, thank you, Doug, for being here with us and showing us around and everything. Please come out and support Fall Line. That's the best beer in town. With that, thank you guys. Thank you, Doug.
Yeah, cheers.
All right, bud.
The Volunteers of Tennessee, 8-0. The Georgia Bulldogs, also 8-0. Dogs, also 8.
Bennett, pressure coming. Got away from one man, and now he's going to tuck it and go with it. Got the first down, he might have the touchdown. Got the first down, he might have the touchdown.
Oh, a rocket.
Wow.
Oh, a rocket.
Wow. And it's still going. Is it going to make the end zone? And it's still
the
going.
corner
Is it going to make the end zone?
Got the
From his
corner
own
of
end
this.
zone.
He waited too long, and down he goes.
Play fake. Bennett loads it.
Fires to the end zone. McConkey, touchdown. One play, 6 more points for Georgia.
Bennett looks left, goes high.
Touchdown.
Hooker gonna go long to the near corner to Tillman, and it's intercepted by Keely Ringo. And took a big shot in the backfield. He's going down. Blitz coming off the corner. Hooker's in trouble. He's going down. Dropped at midfield.
A tough time getting there.
Try a draw play, and the ball is out. And Georgia's got it. Hooker waiting too long again. Down he goes again. Hooker going down again. Blitz. Hooker going down again.
She's same blitz.
Javon Bullard again. Hooker thought about running. Now it's too late to run. Down he goes. One more snap, and Georgia goes to 9-0. 6-0 in the conference. 27-13.
If this is your first time on the show, make sure that you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook to give permission for StreamYard to show your ID and your comment on the screen. We definitely want to hear from you. Already got a shout out from Kim Evans. is in it to win it again. And it also, she says, Brewmaster Doug. So
That's right.
great to have you on the show. We got here with us tonight. Hey, fellas, everybody said, hey.
Hey, 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 go Dogs!
Go Dogs.
That's right.
Love it. Love it. So we got a lot of good stuff to go over tonight. Make sure that we are covering everything that we said we were. Definitely going to get into the win, 27-13, big win for the Dogs. Had 386 yards of total offense, 256 yards of passing, and 6 sacks. So we just covered that. But a huge win for our Dogs in Sanford Stadium. They showed up, showed out, and the fans definitely took care of business.
How about that running game?
That's what I'm talking about.
That was good. I told you, I was texting you guys beforehand. I said, this team, this defense says that they're only limiting teams 93 rushing yards a game. I said, we're going to have 90 at halftime. Yeah.
Yep.
Did we not have like 87 or something at halftime?
It was close.
I knew it.
It was a lot. Well, we got some highlights. I did run some highlights, but let's run the full game highlights, guys.
Stetson will throw in a crowd of traffic. He hits Brock Bowers at midfield on the logo. Chase McGrath to kick it away. Kick is in the air, and the kick is good from 47. Bennett in the shotgun, play fake, goes deep, ball down the middle, and it is caught. Arian Smith, sliding catch against 2 Tennessee defenders.
Great throw there by Stetson, getting air under that football and letting Arian go get it.
Stetson in the shotgun, pressure up the middle. Stetson rolling to the right, breaks the tackle, 20, 15, he'll keep it, 10, 5, goes for the pylon. Did he get it?
Stetson's still able to get in. No way they don't overturn this. That's 6 points.
Thorson, boom, 20, kicked it to Melbourne. My goodness, bounces on the 16, taking a roll into the corner. Coffin's corner, wow, what a kick. Third down, 6 for Tennessee. They're on their own 5. Snap back to Hooker. He stands in the end zone. Oh, we drill it. The ball came out. Fight for it. Who's got it? It's on the 1. It might be in the end zone. I can't tell. Lone setback is Edwards. Play fake. Roll to the right a little bit. Set and throw. Deep ball for McConkey. He's open. That's a touchdown. He slides into the end zone. He was 5 yards behind his man. He beat the Dickens out of Slaughter. Slaughter got slaughtered, and McConkey with 6. Touchdown, Georgia. Bennett with the ball, looks to the left, throws it back line of the end zone, reaching catch. He got the feet in, touchdown. Marcus Rosemy, Jack Saint with a brilliant leaping catch right under the goalpost.
Boy, and what a throw there by Stetson Bennett. There was all kinds of traffic down there. Stetson throws it high over a Tennessee defender where only his guy can get it.
Play fake Hooker, deep ball, near sideline, one-on-one. They've intercepted going into the end zone. Keely Ringo pulls it away. It's the Dogs' ball going the other way. We'll have it at the 20. And the ball is out. Georgia will pounce on it. Dogs' ball going the other way. Third down and 17 for Tennessee as the rain falls harder. Split backfield. Here comes pressure from the edges. We got him again. He went down on the 35. Hooker with pressure, and Bullard's going to get it. Sack number 2 for Javon Bullard. Tosses it to Edwards with some blocks. Sidesteps one tackle, almost fell to the turf. He cuts back inside towards the hash, gets the first down on a terrific run. And Georgia will win this ball game with 8 seconds to go. And right at this moment, Georgia remains undefeated with a 27-13 win.
Yes, a great game, guys. Big win for the Dogs in Sanford Stadium. I really honestly believe that we could have scored more points had the rain not hit. Man, we went to the straight run mode and protect the football. I mean, you guys saw that. Well, we had two fumbles back to back. Georgia fumbled, or Tennessee fumbled. Georgia recovered. Then Georgia turned around and fumbled it right back. So it was definitely hard sledding there with the rain coming down. I feel like that we could have easily dropped at least 2 more touchdowns on Tennessee had we not had issues with the rain. But what's your takeaways from the game, Matt?
I mean, I know everyone talks about. I mean, it's honestly the defense. The defense played their hearts out. Those guys completely came on the field and said, we're gonna do something no one else has done. We're gonna play man to man, and we're gonna make them guys throw the ball on us. And so, I think that's great. I don't think any other team has done that so far this year. And so, to have those guys who everyone's questioned, we have 15 guys going off to the NFL. We have all these people that were leaving. How good is this defense? And they tested us, and we showed up and went man to man on them and that's why you mentioned it last show that the quarterbacks have been getting the ball off so fast. 2.7 seconds?
Something like that.
Every play, having us time to get pressure on the quarterback. Tennessee depends on that time to make those deep.
Yep.
So what happens? You give us 3 seconds, we're going to sack you.
Yep.
And so that's what happened.
Over and over.
Yeah, 2.7 seconds, we won't get to you. We'll pressure you. For 3 seconds, you're mine.
Yep.
And so I think that was tremendous that it was involved. The crowd was electric. You were there.
Yes.
And we could put on the TV how electric it was. It was so awesome. And so, I mean, the side note, besides the defense playing great, I've never been so excited for a punt in my entire life.
Yeah,
that
awesome.
punt really, really set it off for me. I was literally cheering. My kids were watching me like, why are you caring about a punt? And I'm like, you don't understand how great that is.
Yep.
So it was really awesome. I mean, changing the field is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was just a good weapon to have that. And he's a freshman. It's great.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about Stetson Bennett, Kevin. I mean,
I want to say something to Matt. He stole my thunder with my defense.
Okay.
That's my defense.
I'm sorry. You're right.
But yeah,
but you got to talk about Stetson Bennett. I mean, he took it on the chin, took it personal this game. I feel like with the phone calls going out to his cell phone over and over and over, 600, 700 phone calls, he came out to make a point. And for him to come out and drive down the field that drive and then score the touchdown himself and hold the fingers up.
Yep, that's good.
It was epic.
This is what I was talking about on our last show. Stetson's got to step up and be the captain, the commander of the offense that we know he can be. We saw it last year. We're seeing it to another degree this year. He stepped it up another level this game, and I think this is going to continue on. I think all the Tennessee fans did was basically, light a fire under Stetson Bennett, and you're going to see.
You got to shave that
Yeah,
head.
you got to get the
telling
haircut,
you,
man.
When he
It's
shaved
the
his head
haircut.
for Oregon, he was on point. Then we had a little bit of weird, right, up and down. All of a sudden, he shaves it again before this game. And what happens? He's lighting it up again.
Right.
Even with the rain, he was still lighting it up again. That's my wife, everybody. My wife walks by.
Yep.
The show.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Good stuff. Well, guys, I wanted to make sure that I showed the Stetson interview, but I called in on a radio show, one of the Tennessee radio shows, and I told him, I said, you guys brought the trifecta. Number one, you had Eric Ainge tweeting out that Sanford Stadium is not loud, which it is, and it was twice as loud as it was for the Arkansas game. Then you had the College Football Playoff Committee moving us from number 1 to 3. And then you had the phone calls going out to Stetson Bennett over and over and over and over. So it's like pouring gasoline on the fire. And this is what Stetson Bennett had to say about the phone calls he was receiving.
Probably 600-700.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Phone calls, not just text.
Text, everything.
Put it on vibrate.
Yeah, I figured out a way to hide them all so they wouldn't show up. But
What time did that start?
probably noon.
Wow.
Probably.
Any messages?
Yeah, a lot of messages. A lot of them.
Did you return any?
No, didn't return any. Just sat on them, ate them.
Is that kind of thing motivation? I mean, I know that kind of silly stuff happens all the time, but did it light a little fire though?
I wouldn't say motivation, but it's there's probably something there. Yeah.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett is going to make some money off of that for sure. The T-shirts and the sweatshirts, the hoodies, already getting printed. Already getting printed. That is for dang sure.
Yeah.
Well, Kirby had a few things to say about the game, and I'm going to make sure that you guys saw this interview after the game. But I think it was epic.
How were you able to just send them packing their bags the way that you just did?
A bunch of kids that love this place. We took 0 out of the portal. They all love it here. They compete their ass off, and these fans are elite. I'm so proud for this university and these kids. They practiced their butt off for 2 weeks.
Stetson had an incredible game. Your defense holding that #1 offense to terms. You're out. Nolan Smith is gone. Beal gets hurt. What can you say about the way that this team performed?
They played together. They stuck to the plan. And when you stick to the plan, you got a hell of a chance. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That was our theme. We told them we wanted to play them right here in our box.
You hunted them, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you. Go Dogs.
So Kirby immediately in that interview, he mentions that he didn't take anybody out of the portal. Why did he do that?
Oh, it's huge. It's a mindset. It's you see what all these other teams have been doing. You know, they're bringing in other teams out of this other team. And they're not bought into the program from day one. You know, these guys that we got here are bought into this program from day one. They have been brought up under Kirby's mindset. He's been able to coach them up, put them under his tutelage, and develop them the way he wants them developed. Grow that mindset, grow that team mentality, develop that brotherhood, if you want to say, you know, in that organization. And it makes a huge difference.
Right?
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, how many guys have gone down now? I mean, no one's talking about it for Georgia. I mean, injuries upon injuries upon injuries, and it's the next guy up.
Yeah.
True freshmen who are coming in, who, yes, they came in the spring, so they got a little bit of time, but these guys are coming in and making a difference, holding that team, the #1 team in the country, supposedly,
Right.
to what they did. That's incredible.
Right.
In that environment. That's
And you
incredible.
got the mindset of he put Nolan Smith on the sideline as a coach
Yes.
for these guys. So what does that say if you got a player that you want to put in there as a coach to coach these guys from the sideline? What does that say about the mentality that's in that program?
Yeah, he definitely did it for a point. The point, just like you guys said, come to Georgia. We will develop you. You will get to play. And when the next man goes down, you will be the superstar on the field.
Yep.
That's the point that he was trying to make. Hey, we're not going to the portal to go get people to take your place. You come to Georgia, we'll develop you. You'll go on the field and you will play. So let's grab some comments here before I miss it here. We got a few comments. Not sure who that is. It's called me best player of the game. Totally agree. 100 decibels. It was close. It was like 130 something, but it was definitely louder than the Arkansas game. And we went to that game last year, and our eardrums hurt after we left.
Right.
Then somebody says that's my quarterback.
Troy Milton.
Troy Milton. Okay.
That's my
Next man up.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just a huge win for the Dogs this week, and I cannot wait to see what we're going to do at Mississippi State. Now, big loss in the SEC with Alabama losing to LSU. What did you guys take away from that Alabama team? I mean, we've been talking about it. I called it at the beginning of the season. I'm going to go ahead and point it out. I pointed out that Alabama was going to lose 2 regular season games. Did not think it was going to be LSU, though. But nonetheless, LSU at night is different than LSU at 11 o'clock in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
We all know that.
I'm going to give you more accolades. You said it's about discipline. This defense for them, or the team in general for Alabama, is not as disciplined as they have been in the past. Even in that game, they still had 9 penalties for almost 100 yards.
Yep.
I mean, you do penalties when you're getting beat.
Yep.
When you have to hold somebody because you're getting beat, or you have to put a hands to the face because they're pushing you back. When you're getting beat is when you get penalties.
Yep.
And so I think that this back to what your point is. They're undisciplined because the talent level has dropped off because they haven't developed it. Is it a coaching issue?
Maybe.
I don't know. It could be, but once again, you're Alabama, so you should get the best coaches every year. Who should want to come to your school because they know they come to you. They're going to be the next step up to a head coaching job.
Yep.
So you should be getting the best tier of coaches. Yep. So you can't use that as an example. You can't use that as an excuse anymore. That's why I feel like every time we have something bad happens, Alabama goes, here's another excuse.
Yep,
Another
absolutely.
excuse.
Absolutely. And I meant to mention this earlier, so I'm going to take a step back. But Fran Brown, our DB's coach, our DBs did not play at this level last year, guys. Fran Brown has developed these kids, and you are seeing the fruits of his labor. Chidero Uzo Deribe, linebackers coach. I nailed that, by the way.
You did. You totally
Nailed
did.
that.
Good job.
Linebackers coach. He's like 27 years old. These guys love him. He's developing these linebackers. It showed in this game. They came in, made an impact when our starters were not in there. Robert Bill wasn't in there for half the game. Nolan Smith wasn't in there for the whole game. These guys showed out. So kudos to them. Back to Alabama. It's showing up. I told you it was going to show up. They're undisciplined. Number one game that they were undisciplined at was Texas. We talked about it with the horns down. Biggest disrespect you can do in Texas is the horns down, and they were doing it. And Coach Saban tells them to stop that crap. They kept doing it. We knew at that point that this was a different Alabama team, and it has continued that way. And I don't see it changing unless they change the culture there. They don't practice like the Dogs do. The kids are not bought in like the Dogs are, and I think the tide is turning. Pun on words. And
I think people are asking why we're talking about Alabama on our show is because the recruits they would get are now going to come to us.
That's right.
We're going to get those recruits that they've been topping out on are now going to come to us because they see that even when we have 15 guys go to the NFL, we don't miss a step the next season. It is going to be that way moving forward. It's going to be 8 to 15, 16. At some point, I have no idea. I have all the confidence in the world that eventually at some point we're going to break another record when it comes to the NFL, or it's going to be 16 guys.
Probably right.
Yep, I totally agree. Now, you guys, we watch a lot of funny videos about Alabama and about their fan base. But there's one comedian. His name is Funny Mane Johnson, and he put this video out this week, and I wanted to make sure that I showed it to you guys. They know.
So everybody's saying the dynasty's over, right? Bama had a 1-point loss in overtime, one of the hardest stadiums in the SEC to play at. And they lost by a field goal at Neyland Stadium, one of the better teams Tennessee has ever had. And that means the dynasty is over? Nah, man. That just means these guys are not playing to their potential. But how can you play to your potential when your defensive and offensive coordinators ain't giving you the tools to do it? But with every job, there are certain responsibilities. Since Nick Saban has been at Alabama, every year other teams try to pull his top assistants away from the program. They're off being head coaches and coordinators in NFL and in college. Have y'all heard about anybody trying to pull these two current coordinators away? No? Okay, cool. That speaks volumes. Where is the tenacity? Where is the fight? Where is the dominant mentality in this team? And it didn't just start this year. We had struggle games last year. This has been going on for far too long. Hey, I give credit where credit is due. LSU, you played a good game. You deserve to win. But y'all are only 3 seasons removed from a national championship. Now y'all storming the field for winning games in Death Valley at nighttime? I don't know. It seems like y'all used to expect to win these games. Now you surprised you did it. Oh, Tennessee. You were indeed having a great season. Y'all were ranked number 1 for 1 week, then had to go on the road, and you got thumped and scored over 30 points less than your season average, and had the nerve to say, we need to be humble. We've been doing this for 15 seasons. You couldn't survive 7 days with the number 1 ranking? Y'all were the 7-day dynasty. So maybe next time when you beat the king, don't think you the new king. Next time, just and don't pollute rivers. Georgia Bulldogs, let me give y'all my honest opinion. Salute to you for playing good football. Y'all literally play the kind of football that we were used to Bama playing. tenacious, you physical, you show up to win, you deserve to be the reigning national champions. Said it, and I meant it.
So, yeah, I think that says it all there, guys. There's nothing else more to say. And for a Bama comedian to be admitting that this is not the Alabama of old definitely says a lot about where we are as a program. I'm not ready to say that the Saban dynasty is over yet, but it's not going in the right direction.
It's definitely faded. It's faded for real. He's not the only one that noticed that. You know, Greg McElroy, former quarterback for Alabama, he noticed it. He even said something about it this week on his show. You know, that they're missing, that the things that they've got going on in that program right now, when he was playing, it would not fly. You know, and you know, he's talking about the helmets off in practice. You know, dancing when you make a big play. He's like, no, get up, go back to the huddle, and get back to it. This game is not over. Go play. And these are the big things that are missing right now. And it's, I think, goes right back to what you were talking about, Brian. It's a lack of discipline, complete lack of discipline on this program. They don't take Nick Saban seriously. And I think that also goes back to all these transfer players coming in, and they bring in that mindset from other teams with them.
Me, not we.
Right, right. Exactly. It's all about me. That's right.
So let's transition on over to the Mississippi State game. Got a lot to talk about, but I want to run that trailer, and then we'll get on it head on.
Anytime you play against an SEC team away, of course, it's going to be a great atmosphere, and it's going to be a tough game.
It's a different environment. It's like a fair, man. They got everybody outside. They're having a hell of a time. You're going to roll in. You're in their space, and they're going to try to intimidate you every way possible. Cowbells included, and you got to win on the grass.
You know, one thing about Leach teams is they tend not to flinch. They're going to know what they're doing. They're going to be able to endure adversity.
This is about us. This is our love for each other. 20, 15, he'll keep it 10, 5, goes to the pylon, steps up in the pocket. Oh my goodness, please follow him home. And it is caught. Marion Smith. Deep ball for McConkey. He's open. That's a touchdown. He slides into the end zone. Oh, we grill it. The ball came out. One-on-one. They've intercepted. Intercepted going into the end zone. Keely Ringo.
So Mississippi State going to be playing in Starkville, guys, 7 o'clock on Saturday night. It's going to be a tough game, going to be cold over in Starkville. We're not only going to be fighting the fans and fighting the team, you're going to be fighting the cowbell. If you guys don't know anything about Mississippi State thrives on the cowbell noise. Everyone has their own cowbell. There's companies out there that will customize your cowbell to however you want to have it printed. You can have your name put on it, your wedding date, whatever you want on it. They'll put it on there and ship it out to you. Go check it out. It's pretty hilarious. But they believe in more cowbell. That is for dang sure. This is their mascot. It's also a bulldog. This particular bulldog is called Jack. He's Bully 21. There have been like 21 mascots to serve as Bully, but this one goes by Jack. So pretty cool. We love the Bulldogs, but there's only one real Bulldog, and that's Uga, right?
Yep, that's right.
So Mike Leach, the Pirate, he's the head coach of Mississippi State. He's been around for a while as offensive coordinator throughout the Midwest there, and he was at Kentucky for a while and Oklahoma. And then his longest stint was there at Texas Tech. That's where I remember him the most, in Washington State, of course. And now he's here at Mississippi State. Brings a spread-style offense that's hard to defend, that is for sure. But let's get into the offense. Matt, tell us a little bit about what to expect from the offense side of the ball.
So we have, everybody knows is Will Rogers. So Will Rogers had an excellent season last year. The guy threw for over 4,000 yards last year. This year he's not as efficient as he was last year. He's still got 2,900 yards, and he'll probably still not max what he did last year. But he's got 26 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, which is improved versus last year's stats. So we're still going to see the air raid They like to think that they still run the ball a little bit. They don't run it as much as they need to. So we see his stats here at almost 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His completion rate is not as good as well as last year's, which is surprising because we looked at the prelim of this year, and they had the most returning starters on offense. And so we thought they were going to be even better, more efficient. And they had that roller coaster ride of the offense where, I mean, some games they look like they're world beaters, and then they look like they're Auburn. So you don't know what you're going to get. We go to the running backs. We got 2 running backs to look at. We got Johnson and we got Mark. Johnson, both the guys are both around 400 yards. So Johnson's around 406 yards, and then you had Mark, who's around 357 yards. Mark has more touchdowns, which means we're going to see him in the red zone moving the ball around a lot. But these guys, that's really all they have is these 2 running backs. So if we can, once again, same like we did last week, we control the running game, force them into one-dimensional, we'll see the same kind of outcome we saw last week. We get the receivers. It's something that we see a lot of them as we would see Georgia. They spread the ball around a lot to a bunch of different receivers. I highlighted 4 of the receivers they have. We have Thomas, Ducking, Harvey, and Griffin. The first receiver is Thomas here, 540 yards, 5 touchdowns. He averages the ball about 15 yards per catch. So they're going to be the key receiver for them is going to be this guy right here. Ducking, he's about almost 400 yards, 8 touchdowns. So once again, red zone, inside the 15. This guy's the guy they're going to target if they get that close to the end zone. And then you get Harvey, which is about the same kind of thing, 356 yards, 2 touchdowns, not as much in the red zone, but more about opening and spreading the ball out in the middle of the field. And you got Griffin here, 333 yards. He's still averaging a good amount of yards. Size is not what you would think typically for a wide receiver, but once again, an open space kind of guy. You're going to see a lot of these short slants, short 10 to 15-yard passes. So if we can do what we did last week and we can get those tackles made, back to those key points. So last week I gave you 5 points we need to do to win the game, and one of them was tackle. We did that amazing, and even Gary Danielson, of all folks, said it in his broadcast that Georgia was making tackles. We didn't give them extra yards.
Right.
We caught the ball, we tackled him. These teams thrive on moving the ball, breaking a tackle, and running 20 yards. So if we continue that same kind of premise, put those guys on an island, and then make our defensive line work, we will see the same results we did last week.
I like it. Kevin, bring us up to speed on the defense, man. What you got?
Well, I got several highlighted folks here. We got first off is a linebacker, Nathaniel Watson. He's a senior, 6'2", 240, and number 14. This guy he's leads Mississippi State in tackles, 78 tackles total. He's got 4 sacks, that's second best on the team, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. This guy, he really gets after the quarterback, prides himself on chasing down the quarterback, putting pressure on him. So we've got to make sure that Stetson is pressure-free when it comes to Watson. He likes to cause trouble in the passing game. This guy, he really, when he hits the line, he can shed blocks pretty easily. Went back and looked at some highlights of the LSU game, and he really got after their quarterback. And having a mobile quarterback in that game was very beneficial because he'd get in the backfield, and that's one thing that they would the defensive line was spread open and the quarterback would run through. Second off is a safety, Colin Duncan. He's 6 foot 210. He's senior, number 19. He's got 42 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 4 passes deflected. Duncan likes to get physical in coverage. He's very handsy, gets in there, tries to rip the ball away, cause issues with the receiver, cause fumbles, and just disrupt the plays. Third is Tyrus Wheat. He's a linebacker, 6'2", 240 senior. He's number 2. 42 tackles. That's the 5th best on the team. 5 sacks, which he leads the team in sacks. 2 passes deflected. He likes to come off the edge and blitz. He can drop back, cover, and pass coverage. He's got a high motor. Very relentless and aggressive in his coverage. 4th is Emmanuel Forbes. He's a corner, he's a junior, 6 foot, 180, number 13. He's got 24 tackles on the season, 5 interceptions. He leads the nation in interceptions, by the way. So Stetson Bennett's got to be very, very aware not to throw to this guy. Be careful when you throw to it. Make sure you got your receiver open, and don't force that because he's got good hands. He will take the ball away. He's got 2 touchdowns on those interceptions for the year. One against Kentucky and one against A&M. And he's also had 7 passes deflected. So he can get get his hands in there, get physical with whoever he's covering. So Stetson's got to watch out for this guy, not make any careless throws, any mistakes. And our last player is Randy Charlton. He's a defensive end, senior, 6'3", 270. He's number 5. He's got 23 tackles on the season, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. And that forced fumble came against Alabama. So these are all just a few that we've got to watch out for. But, my overall synopsis of going back and watching these guys play, main game I went back and watched was LSU, I guess because I feel like that's who we're going to see in the SEC championship game. These guys, they tend to open up a lot of running lanes for the quarterback to get into. They over-pursue. They open up. Even when they come around to get the quarterback, there's nobody to close that gap that the ends or the linebackers create coming around to get the quarterback. And the quarterback just blasts through. So that's a weakness that they have. I mean, they're ranked 74th overall in the nation against the run, allowing 150.6 yards per game. And so these are some of the things that I feel like that Georgia can expose and take advantage of.
Yep, absolutely.
They trying to find. They got the number 46 ranked defense overall. So that goes back to the point of I feel like Georgia plays the game that we had against Tennessee, that we know they're capable of playing, the command, the offense, Stetson commands the offense. It shouldn't have any trouble driving down the field and scoring on this defense.
Totally agree, man. Totally agree. Let's get into our Week 11 matchups, and then we're going to jump back in here and talk about what the keys are going to be for the Georgia football team to win in Starkville, and what it's going to take for us to pull off a huge one there and get it done. So our first game that we're going to cover is Alabama at Ole Miss. Now, this is the one that I thought was going to be the upset. What do you guys think?
I'll go first.
Go for it.
Alabama is 37-1 versus after a loss, so they're not losing this game. Done.
But is this the Alabama of old?
Ole Miss has no defense. Same old offense. Ole Miss team defense.
I like it. Kevin, what you think?
I am going to disagree with Matt. I think this is another game that Alabama chokes on. I think it's going to be a close, hard-fought game because they are playing in Ole Miss, and I think it's going to be a close one, 38-35.
What's game time for this one?
It is 3:30.
Oh. Okay.
All right, let's see what our dog pound crew thinks. What do you guys think over there? Alabama?
Alabama by 10.
I like it. 10. You going Ole Miss?
Oh, yes.
Hunter Ivy.
But why? Why?
Because he likes Hawaii.
Why is Ole Miss? Okay, let's do this.
I like it.
I'll say Alabama wins late on field goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right. Next game, guys. Next game is TCU at Texas. Matt, what you got on this one, buddy?
Once again, this game will take between 4.5 to 7 hours to play. Texas, I don't.
That's a hard one.
TCU. I picked this game because TCU always looks like crap in the first half, and the second half they end up somehow winning the game. Texas is that team that looks like trash the first half and eventually wins the game. So these two are almost like mirror images of each other. But I don't like Texas. I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling Texas. But I think it'll be a super close game. It'll come down to the last possession. But I think TCU will escape out of victory by 2 points.
I got it.
But they may lose, which would be great because they get them out of the playoff. But I want them in the playoff because I want to play them.
Kevin, what you think, bud?
Well, once again, I disagree with Matt. I said this is going to be one of those games. It is at Texas. It's a night game. These fans are going to be rowdy. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to play. They're going to want this game because TCU is number they're number 2? No, 4. They're number 4. They're number 4. So Texas is going to want this game. They're going to want to prove themselves. Texas has had a couple big wins. I mean, they throttled Oklahoma 49-0. So you can't throw them. You got to throw them a bone somewhere. They almost beat Alabama too. They should have beat Alabama.
TCU's been waiting for a loss for weeks now.
Yeah,
they escaped losses for weeks now. So at some point they're going to get one.
So we could debate this for a while, but I'm Texas win this game 36-28.
I like it. I missed some comments here. Madison says, I'm hoping Ole Miss, but I'm thinking Bama will come back with fire under their butts. And then, let's see. Ken Lalonde says 35-20 Bama. Let's see. Ken Lalonde says Texas by 3 over TCU. I like it. All right, Dog Pound crew, what do you guys think over there? I like it.
No, Truly America. I give Texas the edge on this one. 7-20, it may have been a whole foot advantage. I think
Nick?
I'm actually going to say TCU 23-20.
I like it.
Going to get more pressure as the years go on. They're going to get more pressure from other teams. Yes, Washington's is not the caliber they are, but they're still a 7-2 team, so they have a chance to knock them off. Do I think they will? No, I think Oregon will continue their streak of playing great in the Pac-12 Flag Football League, and then we'll meet them again in the playoffs.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, I think Oregon's going to take this one too. Ken Lalonde says the Ducks are going to steamroll Washington. For sure. Totally agree. All right. This one's interesting. South Carolina at Florida Gators. Matt, what you think, bud?
So another reason why I picked these guys is because this is a game where they're both very middle-like teams, right? You don't know who's really going to show up. Is it going to be the South Carolina team that beat Kentucky, or is it going to be a South Carolina team that sucks against Georgia? So you don't know what you're going to get. And same thing in Florida, right? Florida, these teams, they battle. They battle every time they're at home. So really, my heart says South Carolina. My head says Florida. So I'm going to go with South Carolina because I want them to show up. But Spencer Rattler is horrible. He's going to blow the game for them. But I'm still going to go South Carolina.
I like it. Kevin, what you think, bud?
All right, this South Carolina and Florida both coming off a loss and a win. So you got a loss, then a win. I think that this is going to – they're also playing down in the swamp, which is going to be a difficult environment.
It's a dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still going to be loud. It's still going to be aggressive. But I think this actually means something more to South Carolina because of the way their program has been heading. I think that Shane Beamer will have them ready to play this game. I think South Carolina pulls off the upset in a close one. I got 34-32.
Where are they at on bowl eligibility? You know?
Who? South Carolina?
They're both at 5 and 3.
I'm not 100% certain.
Is this for bowl eligibility? That could be a big game because it's bowl eligibility.
Sure could. All right, Dog Pound Crew, what you guys think? I like it. South Carolina?
I'm going with Oregon for the duck season. That means South Carolina has a lot of ducks.
What you think here, man?
Gators eat boogers.
I like it. I like it.
Hey, I don't like it. You're good. You're good. I got you.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. On to our next game here. Texas A&M at Auburn.
That's a great one right there.
It's the piss poor bowl.
It's the underachiever bowl of all. So I picked this game because it is which team is the biggest dumpster fire out there, right? And honestly, I feel a little sympathy to Auburn, right? Because at least they don't have a coach. You know,
Cadillac. Well, you got Cadillac.
Okay, oh my God, he's not the real coach. Okay, they don't have a real leader to lead them. Versus Texas A&M, who has a real high-paid $90 million a leader. So it's just,
was it worth the money?
I'm going Auburn. I think they can score more points.
I like it. Kevin?
The last 5 games for both teams, that is a lot of L's. I mean, a lot of L's. There's not even a W there the last 5 games for either team. So it's like, who can lay an egg the least? That's what's going to win in this game. It's a night game. It's at Auburn. I'm going to take Auburn 32-28.
I like it. Ken Lalonde says, I see the transfer portal for a lot of A&M's team. Yeah, I do too, buddy. They're hitting it. They're going to be hitting it hard.
All those 5 stars.
That's right.
Did we tell you what we like?
Yeah, man. I'm fixing to bring you on. Hold on just a second. All right, go.
I'd like a tank, and I'd like a Cadillac and a Ferrari.
Auburn. I have to go.
Auburn.
A&M. Yeah, that's a lot of L's. Okay, I like it. Matt, what you think, bud? Yep.
I gave them the edge over this because Jim was way overrated. So yeah, Auburn 2017.
I like
I know, right?
Good deal, good deal. So the game that everybody wants to talk about.
Hold on, you got another comment. That says Auburn wins if they score 30 points. If not, then A&M wins. Okay.
So the first 30 points wins.
I like it. I like it. All right, so the game we want to talk about, the game of the week, the Dogs versus the Dogs in Starkville. Matt, give me your prediction, my friend.
So we're going to Starkville for sure. And so, like you mentioned before, the cowbells are the one distraction. They don't have nowhere near as many as capacity as we normally have. I think they're around, 70-ish, maybe 80 max. The cowbells adds another 10,000, I guess. I think we're going to see a lot of early movement with them because they are a veteran team. They have 17 returning starters. They have some history there. It's going to be a night game. They're going to have a little bit of motion. So we're going to see a little bit of early on Missouri game, in my opinion. First half may be within 7-10 points. But I think the second half, we burn them on experience. And I think it becomes that separation between them. So I'm going to go ahead and, of course, I say Georgia. Even though prelim for this season, I will go ahead and say this was the game I said Georgia would lose.
Yeah, I did too. This was the
Because
trap game.
because it would be the trap game versus our middle linebackers would struggle. But Thomas Johnson and Munden have really impressed me. More about Johnson has impressed me more than anybody else.
Yep.
That Joker, he's a warrior. He literally puts a helmet on like it is like watching Gladiator. That Joker puts a helmet on and he's coming out with. I mean, you watch the game. The guys are trying to high five him for a good play. He's like, no, leave me alone. I'm playing.
Yep.
I'm playing. The guy's he's focused. I love it. So I'm gonna say Georgia still scores. I'm gonna say 42-13.
I like it. Kevin? This, I don't know why y'all were even worried about this game at the beginning of the season. I was never worried about this game. Y'all know it. I told you both. I was the only one. For some reason, I'm getting shamed over here in the sidelines. But I was not worried about this game. We're going in this game, and we were facing the number 46 ranked defense. They are ranked 94th overall in penalties. They have 63 penalties overall this season. They're facing one of the top offenses in the country. I don't know why everybody's not realizing that. Georgia has one of the top ranked offenses in the country. I think we're in the top 5.
Oh, yeah, right.
We're in the top 5. I know. So this is going to be one of those games where discipline is going to matter. And we've all seen that Georgia can step up. They play disciplined football. They don't get dumb penalties. And when they do, somebody, mainly the whole team, steps up, fills the gap, overcomes those penalties. That's what you're going to see. You're not going to see a penalty-ridden game. I think Georgia goes out this game. They dominate. They, once again, will dominate the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball, just like we did against Tennessee. We'll take the crowd of the game early on. We'll run up the score in the first half. Half the stadium will be gone, and we'll win this game. It's going to be 38-3.
I like it. Dad says 55-23. I like that. Ken Lalonde says the real Dogs 36, the Pups 17. I like that too. All right, let's get our Dog Pound crew in here. What you guys have to say?
All right. I say Will Rogers. I know he's an experienced quarterback in the league. Leads the SEC in passing. I say that they put that on early because traditionally, start the season, we have been slow to get started, and I say Georgia pours it on 35-17 final.
I like it. What you got?
The Dogs. The Dogs are going to win. They're going to sink the tire.
I like it.
Georgia wins 52-6.
Wow. Dang. Throw it out there. Just drop it going. Nick, what kind of prediction you got on the Dogs this week?
Bulldogs are going to show out this weekend. They're going to show why they're the number one team in the nation, why we're defending national champs. Georgia 35-17
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yes, sir. So I think our players are poised not only there's a lot of guys, a lot of money based on the game. So I think we hold it 10 or less. I like that. I like that. I like it a lot. Well, guys, keys to the game, man. It's that time. What's your key to the game, Matt?
Me, I'm gonna stick with it. With this kind of offense, we have to tackle first. When they make their little dinky little 5-7 yard passes, we need to tackle. And with that, playing that the man-on-man secondary allows him to eventually sack the quarterback at least 3 times this week. I know everybody's been giving us a hard time for not making sacks. I think we're going to see more sacks this week. I think we're going to see 3. And I would love to see Nick's prediction with 3 interceptions. That'd be amazing. Because at some point when we get score up so high, they're going to start going deep, and we're going to start picking them off.
Yep, I like it. Kevin? Well, I think I've already covered it, but I'm going to say it again. Down the low sides of the ball, just pummel them into submission. That's what we did to Alabama. That's what we did to Tennessee. We pummeled them into submission. By the time that game was over, Hendon Hooker was face down, his hands on his knees, depressed, just distraught, didn't know what to do, didn't know what hit him. I think that's what we need to do is just dominate the line of scrimmage.
That white jersey was green.
Yes,
I loved it.
It was completely green.
Hey, Doug, come on, everybody.
All right. Key to the game. Key to the game. What's your key to the game?
My key to the game?
Yep.
Same thing Tennessee. Because Mississippi State has an air raid offense.
I love it.
2 pressure, Will Rogers. Win the line of scrimmage. Georgia gets 7 sacks.
I like it. I like it. Matt?
I don't really have much to add to Hunter's explanation there. I think, just consistency is the key. We dominate the line of scrimmage. We play sound football. This is a pretty easy game. So
I like it. Keys to the game. John?
Tackling space.
I like it. I like it. Doug? Our brute bastard.
Defense.
I like it, man. I like it.
Right.
Hey, final thoughts. Anybody got any final thoughts? We'll send it off right then. Make sure our music is playing. It is. Fantastic. Hey, guys, we are going to take it to Starkville, take care of the miniature pups. We're going to bring it back home with a big win. The Dogs are going to clinch this week when we take out Mississippi State, and it's going to be a big one, and I can't wait to be back in the SEC Championship because I think we can knock out the LSU Tigers in the SEC Championship this year. So I'm Brian, the Dog Pound crew. Go Dogs!
Go Dogs!